Hello guys, once again it's Matt and today we have another video. Thank you all the members, all the patrons. Make sure to subscribe and let's get into it, guys. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about the R-77 and AIM-120. So there are some talks, especially, it's complicated. First things first, the AIM-120 and the R-77, some files of it or leaks of them were already released by Olivia a while back. You know, Olivia, if you don't know, it's one of the leakers that it's just 100% all the time they are correct. She's correct, right? I don't know if she's like working for Gaijin or something. I don't know. It's just that every single time she says something about the game, it happens. So apparently she said that, basically I will show this right now in the screen, but she says basically, like, I know they are testing specifically R-77 plus R-73 versus the AIM-120 plus the AIM-9M, but that is actually that is in a leak. So basically she's saying that internally they are testing these missiles. What does that mean? Well, it doesn't mean much for this patch specifically, but it means that they are going to take a look on the performance of them, and of course this is just obvious, right? Of course they would do that. And they are basically internally testing these missiles to see how they work. That's actually, it just makes sense. Hear me out on this. The RWR rework, I think, is just a preparation for this thing when the Fox trees are added. I have this feeling because the RWRs, if they remained in the way that they were, or the way that they are right now in the live server for when the Fox trees get added, and what I mean Fox trees, just ignore the AIM-54. I mean, that missile is nothing compared to the AIM-120 and the R-77. So yeah, don't do, oh my god, but you were forgetting about the AIM-120. Yeah, I know, man, I'm not talking about the Phoenix. The Phoenix has nothing to do with the R-77 and AIM-120. It's completely different missiles that will just completely destroy the AIM-54. But yeah, I'm talking about 90s Fox 3 missiles, right? Or modern Fox 3 missiles, if you will. They cannot add these missiles without properly adding other RWR. I just have this opinion that if they did that, it would break the game, because these missiles are way too powerful. They're way too advanced for a player to not have a little bit of an RWR, at least giving the player a little bit more information about what is going on the battlefield, so he can defend themselves. He can defend himself from a missile such as this. Don't expect these missiles to be perfect. They turn around 30 Gs. They don't they have the same kind of range of missiles that we already have in the game. It's not like, oh my god, completely different in these initial versions. But still, these missiles are very, very powerful. And remember, they are active missiles, but you still need TWS locks from further than like 16-20 kilometers for them to actually work, because if not, they are going to use the INS, and yeah, it's not gonna be very effective, right? So don't expect these missiles to be spawn, climb to 10,000, launch the missile, and then return. Unless you are firing at like 16 kilometers, you need to keep the lock on to the targets, at least the TWS lock, for the missile to actually update its data by a data link, its INS, and actually get a proper resolution of where kind of the target is, right? So don't expect these missiles to be like, oh my god, they're so easy to use. You just spawn, fire the missiles, and RTB. No, they're not like that. They are, you need a little bit more input on the missile itself than this. But still, after you launch the missile, after it goes active, it is really dangerous, especially because you can actually launch them with TWS. So it's a missile that would be completely stealthy sometimes until the very late stages, which is already going to be if you fire on a TWS. But the thing is that at least you have an idea of what is firing on you. You know, the MiG-29 is firing on you, the F-16, so you can kind of have an idea with the new RWRs of just basically where, or you know, what to expect from the target that it's actually pinging you, right? And of course, when they go active, they will appear as a missile coming towards you. The Americans have the RWR that will tell you that it's a missile coming. The Russians, I'm pretty sure, have that as well, but also having the distance calculator for the missile. So the RWRs for the Russians will have a, hopefully they add that because it's not implemented yet, but it should tell you the distance to the missile itself. I don't know which of the NATO RWRs got those, but at least I know that the Russians have that. So the NATO might have that as well. So you would know as well when the missile is going to hit. So if you can actually maintain a 12 o'clock position to the missile just to fire your missile and then go notching or something like that, right? So it's it will help a lot. And I think without these defense systems, together with maybe MAW systems in the future and stuff, so that even more advanced IR missiles like the R-73M in the far future, the AIM-9X and all other missiles that the others have can be added as well. That's, I think, will be the main defense against these things. Just like when more advanced IR missiles started to appear in real life in the 70s, the Russians, the Europeans, the Americans, everybody started to add flares to their aircraft. It's the same principle. When they realized more advanced missiles were starting to be developed for radar guidance, they decided to add better defense systems as well. And the first one is, of course, the RWR. So it just makes sense. It's the balancing factor that we needed, you know. If not, if this rework wasn't a thing, these missiles would be way too OP and they could not be added. So I have this feeling, as I was saying, that the RWRs are being added for that reason. They will implement it in this patch, work on them so that they can work properly well, and then in the next patch maybe we will see something like the R-77 and AIM-120 coming. Mike already said in the dev stream, I think, once, I mean, they are not going to add an AIM-120 for an F-16C right now without adding for everybody else. They're not going to do that. So you can hope, you can cry, you can do whatever, but until we receive that AIM-120, the Russians will have the advantage on the BVR. But at least when the AIM-120s are added, so we can hope for that at least, everybody will have some form of Fox 3 missile, and meaning that everybody will be more or less balanced, or at least more balanced than it is right now. So although we kind of have to be sad about it, that the R-27ER is too powerful to fight the Sparrow and stuff, and we wish for better Sparrows right now and stuff, at least we have the hope that when the AIM-120 is added, the R-77, the PL-12, whatever the missile they want, the Mikas or whatever, all of them will be more towards balancing than what it is right now. But yeah, guys, expect the R-77 and AIM-120, R-73s, and AIM-9Ms fairly soon, War Thunder. Not this patch, probably. Some of these, yes. Some of these, no. The Fox 3s, no. But in the future, yes. In the next patch, maybe. In the December patch, hopefully, max, you know. So, yeah. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think about this. And I see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys. See ya.